Ladies and gentlemen, let me formally welcome you to our Liberty Forum. And before I go any further, let me introduce our speakers for tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Congressman Ron Paul, Judge Angie Napolitano, and Tom Woods. Just right there, wherever. Now, like we did at some of the earlier events, just a few house cleaning items to go through, and then we'll get to the main event for tonight. First of all, announced it a little bit earlier, but I do just want to take a moment and say thank you again to all of our great volunteers who have come out this week and made all these events possible. I mentioned earlier today that we actually had people coming in from all across the world. We had someone I mentioned from South Korea, but I did forget to mention that we've also had someone come in from China just for this event. So if you came from California and Alaska and were expecting to impress people with how far you came, we had somebody beat you out. And it really has been just a great beginning to what is going to be a absolutely packed weekend. And I'll tell you this little bit of information. It's only day one, and we already had a piece in the Wall Street Journal today talking about how Campaign for Liberty supporters are everywhere at CPAC. What's more, they went on to say this underscores how Congressman Ron Paul has moved into the mainstream. But I feel it important to add to that we've always been the mainstream. It's everybody else that went away. So we're looking forward to a great couple weeks, wow. I hope not. Great couple days. I know people are tired enough already for much less a couple weeks. A couple things to run through real fast. If you have not filled out your Campaign for Liberty iShare, the mission information card, we do have some of those available tonight. Some of the C4L staffers in back will have some. They're waving their hands there. If you'd like to get them, we'll be collecting them a little later. And for about the next 10 minutes, we're going to extend a raffle that we've been doing. These yellow tickets here. These tickets are $1, and for entering this raffle, you're eligible to win a bunch of prizes, including a ticket to tomorrow night's briefing with Governor Gary Johnson, private event, a signed copy of End the Fed from Congressman Ron Paul, and also possible as a prize, one of those Don't Steal, the Government Hates Competition t-shirts. And a Rally DVD. I forgot to mention that. Rally for the Republic DVD is also, potentially two of them, are also prizes. So we got that going for the next 10 minutes here. And I think that covers the major announcements. Oh, one other thing. I just want to real quickly, if you have not seen these little things fit in right with the CPAC badges. They list all of our Campaign for Liberty events. Have some great ones coming up tomorrow. At 12 o'clock, Steve Bierfeld, our Director of Development, will be on our Saving Freedom, Defending the Constitution CPAC panel. And I imagine the TSA will not come up one time during that panel. We'll be doing a blogger new media meet and greet at 1 o'clock. At 3 o'clock, a little different event. We're going to have a book signing with a guy named Tim Carney. And if you have not heard of him before, he does some great work that is well worth looking into. He just wrote a book called Obamonomics, talking about both parties' problem with corporatism. And the foreword for that book was written by none other than Congressman Paul. Tomorrow at 4:30, Congressman Paul will be making his formal CPAC speech. So we need to be there early based on last year. Yep. Need to make sure he gets a great reaction there tomorrow. At 5 o'clock, there will be a book signing with Congressman Paul. 6:15 was already mentioned, private briefing with Governor Gary Johnson. And starting at 8:30 tomorrow night, Our American Dream event featuring Governor Gary Johnson, Tim Carney, and emceed by radio host Mike Church. So we're looking forward to a great slate of activities tomorrow and to what we have prepared tonight. Just about a year ago, Congressman Paul came to CPAC and he mentioned an effort that had just gotten underway, and that night we plugged it at last year's Liberty Forum. Little thing we like to call Audit the Fed. And we said we would not stop until it became the law of the land. Well, a version passed the House of Representatives. It's got lots of support in the Senate. The Fed is now a topic of everyday political conversation, and Ben Bernanke was just reconfirmed with the fewest votes of any Fed chairman in history. So I think we're looking forward to finishing that movement this year and making sure that becomes law. And I don't think we want to stop there. I think we go all the way to finally ending the Federal Reserve. There will be plenty of end the Fed chances, trust me. Right now, I want to go ahead and get off the stage and get these guys going. So please join me in welcoming C4L President John Tate.
First of all, I just want to thank everyone for coming. I want to say, those of you who have heard me before, you'll be happy to know I'm just here to do about a 2-minute thing, and then I'm off the stage. So, no. I always go for applause lines. I'm here really to do 2 things. One is to thank everyone who showed up, thank the volunteers, the staff, everyone who helped put this together, which is turning into a phenomenal event. We are definitely the news of CPAC once again, and it's because of you. Thank you. And I could name a number of staff members, but I'm not going to do that tonight. But I do want to single out one person who really spearheaded this effort. A lot of you have talked to him. A lot of you, especially if you're sponsors, have had your arm twisted. He's kind of hiding in the door over there. Steve Bierfeld, thank you. And then finally, I just want to thank a couple people that gave significant donations and became major sponsors to help make this happen. First of all, in the memory of Amy Louise Jacobson, a longtime Ron Paul supporter who passed away tragically in a plane crash, a large donation was made in her honor, and we want to remember her and her work for Ron and all that she did. Also, Carl and Karen Bowen, and if you're here, you want to stand up and get applause. Carl and Karen Bowen. Calvin Dennison. Thank you. And let's see if I say this one right. Ichiro Aoki and Sean Smith. Thank you. Probably got that one wrong. Next, I want to introduce tonight's MC. Dr. Tom Woods is, well, most importantly, the proud father of his 4th daughter. So, and as I just told him, when we had our 5th child, a good friend of mine said, "Oh, you're off to a good start." So you're off to a good start, Tom. Tom Woods is a senior fellow at the Ludwig von Mises Institute. He holds a bachelor's degree in history from Harvard and his master's and PhD from Columbia University. He's the author of numerous books, including The Politically Incorrect Guide to the Constitution and Who Killed the Constitution, and another little book that you may have heard of called Meltdown, which is a New York Times bestseller. Tom has been a featured speaker at every one of our regional events since the beginning, including the Rally for the Republic in Minneapolis. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Tom Woods.